What's up, guys? Welcome to my new podcast, Figure Out with LIMA PITA. Thank you very much for tuning in. Thank you for clicking the video. Thank you for clicking the podcast. This first episode is going to be about myself, explaining to you guys who's behind the camera and who's behind the voice that you guys hear in the podcast. Basically, going to be discussing all the journeys that I've had since I was young and what leads me to now doing a podcast, and all the past experiences that I am now going to implement into doing my podcast a lot stronger, a lot harder, um, and just trying to just smash it out. So without further ado, let's get straight into it, man. And I start off with where I grew up. For those who are tuning in on a podcast, make sure you guys check out the YouTube version. It's got some. I've set up a image slideshow. So yeah, sometimes I'll be referring to photos that is gonna be on the YouTube video. But I grew up here at Flatbush, Preston. One of in this intersection here, in Otara, Auckland. Definitely, definitely. Uh, the land of the brave. For those who know. But we grew up pretty poor actually. Me as a young kid, mans don't know if it was if we were rich or poor. I was well fed. Mum and dad worked their asses off. We went to rugby every day or every training every week, games every week. Like it was good. But just looking back now and realizing what we had to eat, yum yum noodles and bakwa more. Oh well, yeah, yeah. Like now you grow up, you look back at them like, damn, that was hectic. But hey, it is what it is, man. So I go to school, Flatbush Primary, 1 to 6. Uh, I go to La Salle for a couple of years, 1 or 2 years. I go to De La Salle for 1 or 2 years, and then mum and dad get called to Samoa to serve in the island. So then I serve. Then I end up here in Apia. No, in Upolu, in Samoa. So I end up there with for a year, and we we become a real island kid, like real island dog. Like it's a real island guy. Like just flicking through these photos, the proof that I was an islander. I was there for a whole year, um, sitting in the back of the ute. This is our trip around Savati, and then yeah, this is basically what I did for the whole year. Um, Making food, doing the plantation, umus, uh, rubbish. I love chasing the chicken around. You know how there's like wild chicken around, not wild chicken, but there's chicken running around wild. Um, and yeah, I'll go around chasing those, kill them. Um, yeah, I was just doing everything I thought was cool because we did not have it in New Zealand. Like I'd never seen a chicken run around freely, and so that really made me want to go and chase them down. So we end up doing. I end up going to the islands for that 1 year. I went to school for 2 weeks. I go to school my first week. We have an English test. Let's talk about it. We have an English test, and it's my first week at school. I was like, oh well, they all speak Samoan. I think I have a chance at this English test, and so we sit it and we do school, and the test coming next week, and the test comes and I look at the test papers and I'm getting marked wrong for what is right. So I'm like, wait, I'm pretty sure my English is pretty good, and I'm getting marked wrong for it. So I go and I ask the teacher to correct my mark, and I nearly get a hiding for it. So from there on, I just did not want to go to school, just in case I just hiding for being right. So that was a big no no. And so from then on, after those 2 weeks, I stayed home, and my dad got me to dig three holes, probably half a meter down. Yeah, we'll say half. Yeah, just three quarters of a meter, and three holes, pretty big as well to fit banana stalks. So yeah, my dad will go and dig out stalks, and those three holes that I dug every day, we have to plant a banana tree in it. So and then I'll come home and I'll do like the omu and stuff, and do the sucker, or like the taras and the bananas. So that's what I've done for a whole year. I'm grateful for it. I know how to live off the land, and when it's time to do stuff out the outback at the back with a machete, and just learning knowing how to cut a tree, at an angle, certain angle, or like it seems so simple, but I know some people that struggle with it. So yeah, that was I'm really grateful for that. But after that, well, mum and dad realized, or I realized as well, that I needed to go to school. So we go to yeah, we end up being at Avondale. We move in with Auntie, and she was at Avondale. So I ended up going to school at Avondale. I go to school at Avondale for probably like 2 years, 3 years. Um, but I hardly went to school. I don't know if Auntie knows this, but yeah, I hardly went to school. I always wagged. Um, just probably because I was just a kid and just didn't realize the opportunity I had there in front of me, or just being rebellious because my parents weren't around, or I just had no idea. I was just probably just being a kid, and just uneducated about things. So went there for a couple of years, and then we go Birkenhead for a couple of years. I know there's Naughty North boys that's going to be watching it as well, man. Big shout out to them. But we ended up being at Birkenhead at college as well. So that's north side. So that's over the Harbour Bridge, and we stay there. We go there for a couple of years as well. Um, and so I hardly went to school here as well. Always kind of wagged. Um, yeah, had some friends that I wagged with. Had a girlfriend that I wagged with. Yeah, just didn't go to school. Hardly went to school. And then we come over to Australia, and we end up becoming vice captain for us. Like, and to be honest, like vice captain wasn't all that. Like, I don't know. Probably society puts a big pedestal on all these small achievements. I hate it. Now looking back at it, I hate it. I hate it. I hate it. Just me thinking I was top dog because I was a bloody school captain. I like I sit here and I look back at it, and it's like that's poo. That's poo. Like, yeah, just society and just putting like a high pedestal on little achievements, man. Like, probably it's an achievement that gives a little indication of things. Like, I know I'm going to be a leader one. Like, it's a leadership role, so I should have a leadership trait in me, which I believe I do have now. Looking back at into it, and which causes me to create this podcast. Um, but just yeah, just little traits. But in the grand scheme of things, making it such a big deal, uh, I don't like it at all. Um, a bit of like a well done is fine, but yeah, just making a big deal out of vice captain, school captain, or school leaders, or like achieving stuff. It's just a small indication of what you have in you and what you're capable of. But I just don't like the how society blows little things up. I wanted to bring that up. So, but one good thing that happened, going to Forest Lake, I meet my partner, my fiance now, and I'm thankful for her support and thankful for um, my two children I have now. So Yeah, that was cool. Oh, that is cool. Yeah, that was cool. Like, but that was good. Her support was pretty crazy, hectic, um, and just yeah, be in line kind of thing. But after all of that, man, we end up being into the gym. My brother's into the gym, and we bring up Tour Fitness. Tour Fitness is where I become interested in this business branding um, side of things, man. We smash it out. We This is where I believe where we could have went big. We could have smashed it out, but the lessons that I learned from um, being a part of Tour Fitness was crazy, crazy, crazy. So Tour Fitness was it was five of us that made it. It was me, my other three brothers, and one of our mates, Junior. There was five of us that we always went to the gym, smashed it out. My two oldest brothers, they competed, and it just created a little group of us, a community that we got into it hard out, man. So we ended up creating this brand, Tour Fitness. So that was it was pretty cool because I was in charge of it was we didn't necessarily indicate who was in charge of what, which is the lessons learned in this like in this little phase here that we had here. There are so much lessons learned in this one. Number one being um, no planning. There was no planning at all of anything about branding. Like we had a brand, we had Tour Fitness. Bam. Let's rock the gears. Let's make merch. Let's go out there and let's make some noise. Bam. We I'm in charge of making merch, making content. Oh well, I take charge. I just take it. I just then I realize how much I fall in love in doing this. Like I make the Facebook page. Or my brother makes the Facebook page, makes me an admin, and then I start. We I believe that I invested into like a camera. I thought I was the man. I've got a camera, a $300 camera, it's a DSLR. Uh, I forgot what it was, but if those camera dudes, man, they might looked at my camera. It was big, it was chunky. But they will look at my camera and I think they will laugh right now. Now knowing the different camera stuff that I know. Um, but yeah, we smash it out. I make content, I make videos of it. Um, we make merch, and we make a lot of noise. Like we believe we made a lot of noise, and these are one of the videos that I made for our merch, and it's real shaky, but it's content, and just the planning in all of this could have been executed really well, but we just didn't. We didn't sit around a table and just plan out what we could have done with this brand. It was just five of us, and we all just did what we thought was right. My brother was bringing in other people into the brand. I was trying to work on content, making the merchandise as you see on the screen there, making these videos, trying to outsource singlets, trying to promote the singlets, trying to promote everything. It was just yeah, like we just had so much to do, no planning. So this was during comp time, and we had lots of content popping through comp when my brothers were doing competitions, which was good. It was easy to pump out content, but when we were off season, we were dead as a quiet mouse, a dead mouse. Um, and so those are lessons that I learned with doing tour fitness, like just yeah, needing to plan things out. If you're gonna start something, make sure you plan something. It's so underestimated that we don't plan. We just hop in, get all this energy that we just want to just do stuff. So we just dive straight in. But if we learn, if I learned to now that I'm learning to um, keep all that energy and all that hype and direct it into like planning and creating and making new ideas instead of just making all that hype and just bringing out the camera and just shooting everything and anything and just trying to make pieces of content. It really makes it easier if you have a whole new plan. So, like this podcast, I've now got a whole script that I'm keeping track on, and it's making me, and it's just making it flow. Um, but as a new podcaster and just trying to learn as I go, there is definitely more things to learn, but I'm now able to direct my energy where it needs to go, how it needs to go, and just how it can continuously be putting out content after content after content. So, yeah, we do this. This is pretty cool. This is fun. And I end up being doing a bodybuilding comp as well. Um, this is one of the craziest experiences I've had as well. Just learning how to be self-disciplined. Um, when I was prepping, I was working at a Porto's. For those who don't know what a Porto's is, it is a burger joint, fast food chain, and I manage it, and we managed to get one out in the valley. And for those who don't know where the valley is in Brisbane or what it is, it's just like a strip of nightclubs. Bang. I'm there. I'm managing a restaurant in the front of all this fast food. We got chips, we got burgers, we got um Macca's across the road, across the shop. We've got all these other things, temptations. We got drunk people coming in, um, just party goers going coming in and out. And I'm surrounded by like drugs and alcohol and food, and it's just yeah. And right then and there, I need to learn how to control. Um, and yeah, that's why I'm so thankful of this experience as well. Big shout out there to Gaurav, who paid for my bodybuilding comp, and he just told me I had 8 weeks out, 8 weeks, and he was offered to pay for my comp, and he paid for it, and yeah, that's me smashing it out on the stage, and really enjoyed it, but quickly realized that that lifestyle isn't for me. Um, but I'm glad I done it. It was just probably because of the environment I was in with my brother there, with my brothers at the gym, our mate, and our brand that we did, Tour Fitness, really, really, really affects us. So yeah, your surroundings, man, really, really, you have to notice that for sure. Um, and so that really brought me into the bodybuilding scene. So that was the bodybuilding scene that just created more discipline in my head. Um, but after that comp, I ate like a maniac, and now I've put it all back on. And so after that, I end up going back to just going to work and just eating, and then and playing the game. So I play the game, eat, and sleep. Lazy. I'm lazy as hell. I'm dating my partner, and all I do is just talk to her, sleep, play the game, eat. That was a vicious cycle as well. And so we ended up being a streamer, as some of you guys may know. We pick up, uh, yeah, we pick up the equipment that I use um, to make content for our tour fitness, which was a Mac, and we start streaming. I have my PlayStation, we had the Mac, and all I needed was the camera, and we started streaming. We done streaming for 3 years. It's been 3 years now since we streamed, or since we've been streaming, and yeah, it's coming. It's gonna come to an end. We might pick it up later on, but my new focus now is gonna be this podcast. So yeah, we end up making partnership as well with Facebook, and that again comes with the social environment that, hey, I'm a partner. Like, it's just like a title. These titlements really, really bad. I hate it. I hate it with a passion. Like, yeah, just hey guys, I'm a partner. Like with Facebook, like, bro, like, yeah, these little achievements have been so blown up that they are nothing, man. This is it's an indication that I can stream and I can entertain somebody. So me realizing that there's an indication of me being a leader and being entertaining, I'm now just wanting to do a podcast that and bring those in like a leadership role and like entertaining kind of things and just learning from my past experiences what I could do and what I can't do. Um, and so yeah, now that leads me to making my podcast. Now with two little ones running around, it is really hard to maintain a schedule that I play the game and playing my game every day, day in day out, mastering a game like Apex, um, and just have no value like in the long term. Hey, I can shoot a gun on a game. That's just my mindset that hey, I can shoot a gun like I'm the master at Apex. In 15 years time, Apex is probably not going to be around, and my skill that I've invested into playing this game probably not going to be useful. So I'm going to be hoping that I use this podcast or this space to be able to meet new people and like surround myself with new people and give my experiences from being a leader, from doing branding stuff that failed um, and now streaming that uh, not probably not have given up on. It's just that my joy for it has gone. So, and just not being able to spend time with my kids because I'll be gaming a lot, and then it comes to making this kind of content, making content, editing my videos. So, um, and there's a lot to go behind it. So, it's just yeah, we just need to well, I just need to focus on one thing. That's another thing that I've learned as well. Like I've done a podcast before, if only you knew podcast. That was trying to implement my gaming with a podcast with just so much things just to spread myself over so many things. So in the next couple of years I'm gonna be just putting myself into this podcast and just investing everything that I have into this podcast, investing everything that I've learned into this podcast and that I'm going to be learning off people as well. So if you know anybody that wants to join the podcast and wants to come on for a chat, please let me know in the comment section. Hopefully, you guys enjoyed this. This is just a little bit of a insight of who I am, how I'm going to process things, and just how we are going to be running this through in this podcast. Thank you very much for listening. Hopefully, you guys have a blessed day. Be blessed, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace.